Hey, it's Erin Weed, founder of Girls Fight Back. And today I have a huge announcement to make. Today I am announcing my retirement from Girls Fight Back. Now, I wanted to tell you a little story about this, and the energy behind this is so exciting and wonderful and hopeful, and there's so many reasons for it. And Girls Fight Back is just getting this party started and the amount of difference it's going to make in the world. So it's really not so much a me thing. I really wanted to make this video to tell you about the exciting things that are happening, and also to explain to you why I've decided to move forward with my life with other things. I think the story that I really need to share with you today is really in response to the question that people always ask me, which is, why did you start Girls Fight Back? The reason I started Girls Fight Back, as many of you know, is because of the murder of Shannon McNamara, who was one of my best friends in college, and just such a precious person while she was alive, and the most precious angel now that she's gone. But she really was the reason. But I can also tell you the moment that I started Girls Fight Back, and I've never really shared this before. That moment was actually at Shannon's wake, right after she had died. And as I wait in this ridiculously long line to pay my respects, at the other side of the casket, I met her mom, named Cindy, who I immediately had this connection to. She is just this amazing ball of energy kind of person who's just reeks positivity even in the worst situations. I met her for the first time, and I introduced myself, and we had this immediate connection. And I'll never forget what she told me. She said to me, "You know, Weed," that's what they called me. You gotta own it. And even Cindy owned it. But she said, "You know, Weed, even when your daughter is murdered and you think that the absolute worst situation has transpired, there's still something worse that can happen." And I remember being dumbfounded by this idea that something worse can happen than losing a child. And that's when she told me, my worst fear is that she's going to be forgotten after all this is over. I think that was the moment I started Girls Fight Back. And I think this 12 years of me running the organization, people have given me a lot of hero credit of doing this wonderful thing for millions of women and all that stuff. But really, you know what? It just came down to that moment of realizing, you know what? I've got a really big mouth, and I can make sure that that fear is never realized for her mom. And for me, the way that Girls Fight Back really transpired was through self-defense, and the reason for that was because I was feeling so afraid. After something like that happens to a person, it's very natural to just lose your psychological sense of security. So I just wanted that back. I wanted my peace back. That's really how Girls Fight Back started. It wasn't for me to eradicate violence or make the streets safer for women everywhere. It was just so that I could sleep through the night and walk down the street and be in relationships and travel the world and do whatever I want to do and not be freaked out all the time. And you know what? I think that's what a lot of women want. We don't want to fight, but we want our peace. And you know what? We deserve our peace. We deserve it. So that's really how Girls Fight Back started, giving women these really practical, proactive tools so that they go out and live their best life with no apologies, no holdbacks. And that's what Girls Fight Back has become. We now have a team of speakers all across the United States, and it's just growing and growing and growing and reaching more and more people, and I'm so insanely proud of it. But you know what happened on June 21st of 2012? My friend Shannon would have turned 33 years old. That was her birthday. It was historically a very sad day for me. It was historically hard. She was murdered on June 12th of 2001, and then her birthday was on June 21st every year. So every year, June just kind of sucked. And it was just a month that I just got through. But last year, it was different, because on June 21st, 2012, I had a baby girl, and I named her Phoebe Elizabeth. And to have my daughter born on the same day as Shannon, the inspiration for so much goodness in the world, I think something happened that day. I moved out of pain and I moved into peace. And when that happened, I started to feel like I needed to let go of Girls Fight Back. And it's been a very gradual process. It's obviously taken me over a year for this to become final. But I realized that Girls Fight Back has not been all about self-defense and ass-kicking and being badass. Girls Fight Back has been the bridge from pain to peace. I want Girls Fight Back in the future to be that bridge for you, for your daughters, and for any female loved one that has been through pain or even experiences pain merely by having anxiety in the world. And I want us to be the bridge that gets you to the other side and helps you live that peaceful life that you're supposed to so that you can do whatever it is you're supposed to in this lifetime. That's what Girls Fight Back is. I think on June 21st last year, I started getting my peace back. And over a year later, now here in September 2013, it's final. I've gotten my peace back. And the last thing that I really needed peace about was to know that if I moved on, that someone would take good care of it, that someone would respect it, that someone would love it as much as I loved it, because it really is my first baby. And I found her. Her name is Gina Kirkland, and she's the founder of Kirkland Productions. And Kirkland Productions is basically a seminar production agency based in LA. So she books all sorts of acts all over the country and sends these really amazing speakers into colleges and high schools, all the stuff that we've been doing at GFB for over 12 years now. She is a pro. She's a business badass. She's a good person. She's a survivor of violence. And she cares about this issue on such a big level. And she's actually been our agent for most of 2013. And when I started to feel this extreme peace, I reached out to her and said, I think you're the perfect person to take this over. Would you consider it? She only took a weekend and came back to me on the Monday and just said, hell yes. And so ever since then, we've been negotiating how that's going to work out. And I'm so proud to say that us deciding how to move forward with her being president of Girls Fight Back and me moving on to other things in my life, one of the most important things being to just have more time with my family and my kiddos. It has just been one of the most gratifying processes I have ever been through in my entire life, to be able to create something as a 22-year-old and to be able to let go of it as a 36-year-old, knowing that it is 10 times better than it was 12 years ago, and it's going to be 1,000,000 times better 10 years from now. It's one of the most peaceful feelings in the world. So today I wanted to make this video to tell you not goodbye. I'm not going to disappear off the planet, but I am moving on to other business endeavors, and like I said, definitely going to be spending more time with my kiddos and my family. So I'll still be around the peripheral, but I am retiring from Girls Fight Back. And I just wanted to say thank you. Because one thing I never really anticipated when I started going on the road and I started speaking my truth about this, I never anticipated that by me helping so many people through the seminars, that you all were going to help me tenfold. That's exactly what happened. You healed me. I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for hearing mine. Thank you for being open to the idea that you are more powerful than you can ever know. Thank you for being you. And thank you for the journey.